Greetings, this is Nars, and today I'll be doing a chess video for a friend of mine, Stephen Dick, the owner of the All Kingsmen Chess Shop, who prepping for an upcoming tournament. He's kind of underrated, I think. His rating's below 1,000, and I think he's a much more solid player than that. So, anyway, without further ado, this is our game. I played black, he played white. He opened with there we go. Oops, excuse me. E4. Give you a little sneak preview of the upcoming position. He played E4. I played E5, which in tournament games I usually play the Sicilian, but I figure, you know, below below 1,000, most players are probably gonna play the double king's pawn, play E5 in the response to E4. Maybe not most, but probably the largest minority. We'll play that, and you know, it's solid, and you have to know how to play against it. I kind of find it more difficult to play against. I'm an E4 player myself, and I find it more difficult to play against E5. Especially someone who really knows the opening well, which I don't actually, since I usually play Sicilian now. But I find it harder to play against than Sicilian. Anyway, white. Steve played knight f3. I played knight c6, defending pawn. Played bishop to c4 with immediate pressure on the f7 point. This is also what I play. Italian game. I played knight f6. Now here he kind of goes astray a little bit. There's a number of moves. Main line is probably knight to g5. Which is what I played exclusively for. Actually, I've played it almost every single game I've ever played against the two knights defense. But I've decided to give it up actually because there's a lot of different counterattacks for black. Black can play. Usually black plays d5 defending this, but he can even play bishop c5, or he could play d5 pawn takes with the knight here. See, I'm not going to go over the variations because I think it's important to be able to visualize, and also because let me turn the engine is off. But when I start, you know, this window pops up, new variation, and this is usually the way it goes. This is even a move, believe it or not. The main line is knight here, where you sacrifice a pawn. Now there's all sorts of options for white. One of them's here, which you know, pinning this pawn, which I didn't have much success with. The main line is this, but you know, black's gonna kick this knight. Black's pawns look bad, but he's way ahead in development. So I'm getting off on a little bit of a tangent, but that's one of white's options. Another option is to just castle. He could also play d3. Knight, I will go over this line. Knight c3 is not very good because black can take the pawn, white takes, and now it's the old fork trick, which you know, it's not really that big a deal, but black gains a little bit of time and some space in the center. But here Steve played c3, which he just kind of played it as if I hadn't played the two knights defense at all, as if I just brought my bishop out, which would be the I'll go back a couple moves, which would be the you know, the classical Italian game Guccio Piano. I think I'm saying that right. But here he played c3, which one moment, I'm gonna turn on the infinite analysis. There we go. That just shows me variations off the screen from where you can see, but it shows me various lines. So basically he's given me a free pawn, and unlike if white had not played c3 and castled, he's really not going to win the pawn back. Or he might, but it's going to take a lot of work and probably not improve his position any. So I took. He played queen b3, which is not, according to Fritz, the best move here is just d3, making me back up and maybe eventually pressuring this pawn. But here I played Queen D6, you know, double purpose move, hitting the bishop and hitting the this pawn at the same time. Now here, the simple move castles loses immediately to knight to a5. So if white castles, just try to visualize it, knight to a5, and all of a sudden I'm hitting this bishop twice, the queen once. After the queen moves, I'm going to take this bishop. The bishop can sacrifice itself here, but then I'm just going to take it for free. So it's just not looking at all good. So here Steve almost castled, but I told him to think about it for a really long time, and eventually he decided he was going to move the bishop anyway, but he didn't see the threat, so I explained the threat. But you definitely have to be aware of stuff like this. It's a common theme. You're hitting the bishop once, sometimes with a rook here on c8, and then when you move you'll be hitting it twice and hitting a stronger piece, the queen, and when the stronger piece moves you take the weaker piece. But so he played bishop d5, which Fritz also doesn't like. It likes just bishop e2 here. Here I played e4, which you know, when Fritz likes my move. Fritz, by the way, is the chess engine I use to analyze my game sometimes and suggest different moves and lines and whatnot. But yeah, it's like when Fritz likes your move, it's like a father figure giving you a pat on the head. It's like this approval. I don't know. I'm not going to get into all this. Y'all will probably think I'm nuts. But I don't know. It's always fun when the computer likes your move, or when a international master looking over your shoulder, said you made the best move, found the best line.